Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back again doing the Sex and Relationships monthly tarot horoscopes for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in Gemini. And I'm using my Decameron Tarot deck, and the one that I created before. And this is, so you can buy this offline, but I took my artistic license and made it really my own. Okay, so you're not really, this is not going to match up with what the booklet said, although in some cards it might. Thank you so much for being patient, because obviously it took me a while to get these out. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to do these again because of significant time constraints, but I wanted to do these because everybody was clamoring for them. So I appreciate your patience in waiting. And this is for mature audiences. This is for everyone 18 or older. This deck is, has strong erotic and sex content here. So forewarned here. You've been forewarned. So Gemini, let's see what's going on for you guys. Got some tough stuff, guys. Tough stuff. Quite the roller coaster. Okay, so I was just kind of fixing my cards because there's no reverses, and some of them came out in reverse, but there are no reverses in this deck. So I read them all upright. And I have been starting off with the past, the card of what's going on in the distant past, but I'm going to start here in the center of everything, because this is a tough card, and you can see it's a strange card. You can see this girl, you can't even see her face, and this guy is making this angry, it looks like he's helping her take off her shirt, or put her shirt on, but I see this as someone who, this is sexual frustration. I see this card as being the card of sexual frustration, okay? This is tension in a relationship that is unreleased by basically an arguing couple, okay? The need to kiss and fuck up. That's my saying, kiss and fuck up. Really badly is prevalent here, or just simply break up. Basically, it's not worth continuing in some cases. So some of you, like, there's some arguments. There's been some arguments going on in your relationships, back and forth between both parties, male, female. It could be male-male relationship, female-female relationship. There's just some discontent, sexual frustration. Maybe your partner wants to do it and you don't feel like doing it. Maybe you want to do it and your partner doesn't feel like doing it. This is where it's like, it's almost like you may be trying to have sex, but then for whatever reason you start to have sex, like the clothes start to come off, and then somebody says something and it's over. You go ballistic and you're like, forget this, and you kind of grab your shirt from them and you're like, I'm gonna go, I'm tired of this shit, and you just kind of get upset. It's kind of like it's very it's like a volatile, like inflamed. I feel like I want to say the word inflamed, explosive type situation where it's like it can burst into flames at any time, kind of thing. It's just very explosive. And so that's where your frustration levels are at, okay? And you never want to get it to that point, that peak, because it's just not a place, that's not a healthy relationship anymore, where it's like you're having sex, it's angry sex. It kind of feels like there's angry sex happening. And it's not really healthy. It's not really satisfying. It's just kind of like, I always say it's like the equivalent of masturbation in a sense, where it's like, you got it off, but so what kind of thing. You know, there wasn't anything else. There wasn't an emotional connection. There wasn't, and it doesn't, you know, sex doesn't always have to be where there's an emotional connection, but usually it's a lot more, it's a lot better when there is something there. I mean, it's just better that way. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that in the beginning of May, Gemini, you guys have some sexual frustration going on. Whether you're not getting it enough, whether you're doing it kind of like, you know, technically, I feel like maybe you're doing it because of the wrong reasons. You're just trying to do it and there's not enough. It's sort of like, it's almost like, in a way, maybe someone put the pressure on you, or you're putting the pressure on your partner or whoever it is to have sex, and they agree to finally do it. And then it's just like, but it's almost like they don't even know why they're doing it. They're just doing it because they're pressured, not because they really want to do it, you know? And so when they finally get into it and you kind of get into the motions, they're really irritable. It's almost like the equivalent of there's not enough foreplay. There's not enough romance. There's not enough feelings there. It's sort of like you're trying to have sex with someone and there's just not that warm kind of caring and tenderness there. I always say it's the equivalent of having sex without kissing. I mean, it's just kind of messed up. I kind of feel like it's that way. And I feel like this guy... there may be some alcohol problems. If alcohol's involved, I feel like guy or girl could be kind of messing it up, okay? Because to me, this is sort of like someone who's pressuring you, or you're pressuring someone, and because of the alcohol. So it's sort of just like, you know, maybe you get drunk and like you want to have sex and like they're like, okay, fine. And they don't even really want to kiss you because you're drunk, and you start to get going, and then they just get pissed off because you're rough and you're being mean. And so it's just kind of like, I don't know, I kind of just see it as being like, again, a volatile, angry, not happy situation going on in the beginning of May. At the very least case scenario, this is just sexual frustration where you really want to have sex, but you can't. It's the image represents, in this case for you, just frustration, stress, unreleased stress. You need to have sex, but you can't, but you're not, for whatever reason. You need to get a vibrator, okay? Ladies, for the ladies and for the guys. You know, there's all kinds of crazy stuff out there for guys too. So, you know, it needs to happen where you're taking care of business, or releasing your stress. You gotta do it. So what's, you know, interestingly, you have this argument, and then what's crossing you is making up, okay? So, but I do feel like for some of you, it's a volatile situation, and some of you, it's not worth continuing. And if it does continue, it's going to lead to domestic violence. So my suggestion is, it's not a healthy relationship if you're in what I'm talking about, and it's time for you to consider leaving and getting out of Dodge, okay? And for others, it's just an argument, and you're going to make up, because this is kissing and making up. You know, it's the fight that leads to make up sex. It says your love is true. To make up and do it well, things get better. Relationship goes to another level. This is proving that the relationship can withstand the test of time. The sex is amazing, orgasmic, hot and heavy. Intensity is incredible. The woman makes up for yelling, and the man loves her regardless. This is true love. And so yeah, so that's kind of how I see it. So you're arguing at the beginning of May, you make up, you're going to make up. If you get into an argument with your spouse or partner, you're going to, it's going to blow over, okay? Not for everyone. For some of you, you need to break up with your partner. If there's alcohol involved, if there's any kind of pressuring, if there's any kind of forcing, it's not going to work long term if your partner is like that. If they're treating you like that, that's the ultimate disrespect. And it's not true love in that case, you know. But if you just get into an argument, or, you know, you say something you don't mean, you know, you kind of, you know, blow up. Sometimes we take things out on our partners. It shouldn't be like that, but sometimes it does happen. And so you make up afterward and you make up for it, okay? That's important, okay? And do it well, okay? Make up well. So, now, some of you, okay, the foundation is where the marriage or the partnership has really gone stale. And this is kind of a really strange picture, but you can see it's a member of the church who's getting service. Okay, she's reaching into his cloak there, and so this is a I can't even say the word hypocrite in love. Okay, this is someone who likes getting all the attention because they were not given love and attention as a child. This is to lord power over someone, to use sex as power, or to use sex like a trade, where it's like you trade sex for a roof over your head. You trade sex for basically being provided for and taken care of, okay? Sex in a marriage, that is what I call a legal form of prostitution, okay? This can also indicate prostitutes, okay? Or call girls, or a relationship where there is no emotion, okay, in the sex at all. It's very mechanical. The word mechanical is coming to me, and it's turned into an exchange of services, okay? So it doesn't feel like, in the distant past, I feel like your relationship kind of got to this point, okay? And then it turned very volatile, okay? It still feels like, if you're in a marriage, it feels like your relationship went cold a long time ago. It became kind of an exchange of services. That's all it really became. There wasn't any emotion involved, And this has gotten somebody in the relationship angry, okay? That it's gotten cold, and it feels like there's a lot of pressure to like perform and do it. And because there's no emotion in it, like what I was talking about before, it's interesting because I hadn't even really dug into that card yet, really saw that card. It's just not there. I mean, it's just not good anymore, basically. The sex is not good anymore. Some of you, you're in a cycle where you're going to stay in the relationship, even if it's gone cold, even if it's gone stale, even if it's an exchange of services, because you're getting something out of it, okay? Because you're getting what you want out of it, which is either money or power, or, you know, you're being provided for in some way, whether it's housing, whether it's food. This is the kind of thing where one partner ends up paying for everything, and as long as you give them sex, they're happy, kind of thing. And that's not a true partnership. That's not a real marriage. It's just an exchange of services. And in some cultures, it really is that way, because back in the day, especially for women, back in the day, the guy did provide. The guys were the male breadwinner. You know, there wasn't as much available for women back in the day, okay? So a lot of cultures, it's like that, and it's been trickled down for that reason. So it's sort of like in some cultures, women just see marriage as a trade, exchange for goods and services. Basically, that's kind of how it is. And this may be, Gemini, in the distant past, this may have been your perspective. Or this maybe have been the relationship that you were in, and may have gotten to a point where you felt like it was just an exchange of goods and services, even though when you got married, it wasn't like that in the beginning, okay? Or maybe you weren't conscious of it, and maybe you become more conscious of it now, you know, since you have the hindsight of 2020, you know. So some of you, it's gone stale, and I see that you need to get out of it. Others, it's going to be hard for you to get out of it because you're in a cycle, and you might, you know, fight with your partner and, you know, refuse to have sex and then make up later just because you don't want to get a divorce or just because you don't want to break up. Now, in the recent past, this is very interesting. This is a girl who's lying there. This is I think this is the Ace. Yeah, this is the Ace of Swords. So this is to realize you have very strong feelings for someone and to make decisions based on those feelings, to act on them, to break up with one person because you realize what's missing in the relationship, which is good sex, okay? If you're female, it's a man who wants to fuck you badly, okay? Now, so in some cases, in the distant past, you were in a marriage that was a trade for goods and services, and it went stale, it went cold, or it just felt like it was an exchange of services, like you were just masturbating on each other, and that's it, okay? So then you decided, you know what, this isn't working for me, I want to have good sex, this isn't good sex, and I'm going to break up. So you broke up with that person, you know, you started dating again, okay? And you started dating again, and the guy or girl just wasn't a sexual match for you, okay? Or maybe they were, you know, in the beginning, but eventually it wasn't like that. So this is someone who's just like, who wants to have sex, who wants to get to the fucking, and somebody who just wants to have a lot of crazy foreplay, you know, or make out for 7 hours and not get to sex. So this is where the female may want to get to the sex, and the guy may want to have the foreplay, or vice versa, okay? This is just not quite matching up sexually, okay? It says not matching up sex-wise, awkward sex, sexual chemistry is off, lots of foreplay and fun, but the act itself lacks substance, and it leads to unfulfillment. It can indicate a more experienced woman and a less experienced man. This is impatience to start fucking, and there's a strong desire for sex. So some of you may have been, I feel like, okay, so if you were coming out of a relationship that had gone stale, or a marriage that had grown cold, and you broke up or you got a divorce, and you kind of maybe have gone into this period of time where you're very impatient to start having real sex again. Like you realize, okay, like it's been a while since I had sex, so I want to do it again, and like I want to have sex again, and you're maybe starting to get paranoid that you're never going to do it again, but you will, okay, you will. And in your immediate future, you have this really cool card. So Gemini guys, now this is a match, and I feel like this is a different couple, okay? So in the future, immediate future, some of you are going to meet Mr. or Mrs. Right, okay? And typically this is where the guy sees the girl as being the ultimate woman. So Gemini guys, you may see her as being the ultimate female. This could be your wife, okay? In the end, this could be your wife or your girlfriend, your current girlfriend. Because I feel like, okay, so maybe in the distant past, you were in a relationship, you broke up, you started dating again, it wasn't a match, you moved on, and now you're in the immediate future, you're going to meet the right one. This is a great wife, a great lover, a great mother. If single, the man wants you so badly and dreams about getting naked in the kitchen, or you cooking or baking for him. It says she. Okay, it says this relationship will go far as this is the best partnership. This is the ultimate romance. If a man, the woman in your life is Mrs. Right, love up on her. So Gemini guys, okay. It says she is ready to take you on the kitchen floor, if necessary. It's so funny. It says propose, do it now. He or she is the one. It's pretty cool. So then we have, in the position of emotions, we have this card, which is engagement or marriage. This is what's on your mind. This is where you're at. Okay, emotionally, you want to get married. Now, originally it was kind of a scary picture, so I changed it. So there's chocolate on each other's face. He is holding some flowers. They're kind of experimenting. Okay, it says chocolate, flowers, and kisses, engagement or marriage. It says tantalizing foreplay. This is a suitor, okay, who wants to woo, okay, and gets excited about it. To get excited on the first date and to look forward to fun in the bedroom. And I wrote, if you can make it to date 10, he will propose. This is making it to date 10 without having sex. If single, this can indicate Mr. Wrong or Mr. Right, depending on how serious the guy is, okay? If you're married, this is needing to experiment with objects, specifically food, in the bedroom. So there's a need for experimentation here. So to me, this is like the same. To me, this is very strong. Not to freak some of you Geminis out, but it feels like in the month of May, there may be a proposal. There may be a realization that this person is the one for you. This is a match. Whatever it is, however it turned out, the guy in the relationship, in the past wasn't for you, okay? Or the girl in the past wasn't for you. But the girl, either that you're with or you're dating or soon to be dating, is that person. The next person that comes along is going to be that person if you're single and you haven't met them yet, okay? That's how it feels. It feels like there's a proposal. Some of you are getting married. Some of you are getting engaged. It's a very strong, you have both cards. To me, it's one is needing to propose, and the other one's getting engaged and married. So, and needing to experiment with food, all rolled into a lovely little basket. So that's awesome. Really cool. And then, so what's coming in from the outside, outside energies, basically, this is a strong sense of playfulness. It's interesting that, that you guys are Geminis. Geminis like to play, okay? Strong sense of playfulness in the bedroom, fun times, can indicate sex that is not serious or about commitment, someone wanting just sex because it will be fun. This can be a girl who is not sure where the relationship is going. Be careful to understand what each other really wants in a relationship. And so this is a caution, don't rush. Someone having sex on the first date or too soon. So my feeling is I feel like you're going to meet someone and you're going to realize this could be Mr. or Mrs. Right. Don't rush it. Date them. Continue to date them. They will propose. You will get married in the end. Don't rush it at all. And if you can, avoid sleeping with them on the first or second date, okay? At least wait. I would say at least wait to date 5, I'm getting. At least. Get to know them better. Sorry, my throat is so dry. That's what I would say. And then, so some of you, to me, it feels like you have this dating situation going on where there's a person in your life that maybe you're dating and maybe one of you wants to get married and the other one is a little bit like not quite sure, not quite ready, okay? But everything really boils down to these final 2 cards for everybody else, okay? For those of you who are not dating, this shows me that if you're in a partnership, I should say, if you're in a partnership or you've been in a long-term relationship, again, this is a card about the relationship kind of going cold, okay? It says a gorgeous couple that looks good together but has no sexual chemistry, okay? His gorgeous cock is wasted by her lack of enthusiasm and inexperience, okay? There's little to no excitement. The current partner will soon be history. This can also indicate sexual frustration. This can also indicate a strong desire for sex for a particular person, okay? And this is also wanting or yearning for someone, okay? So, there's several cards in here about sexual frustration. You got 3 cards. So, Gemini, it's sort of split down the middle. I feel like there's 3 cards about dating, commitment, marriage, proposal, and it going somewhere. And then, so on the one hand, you could be in the pile of Geminis that's having a great romance, and it's going good. And on the other hand, you could be in the pile of Geminis who are sexually frustrated. Whether you're in a marriage, whether you're in a partnership, whether you've got a temporary boyfriend or girlfriend, or whether you're dating, or whether you're single, there could be sexual frustration, okay, going on. And then the outcome is no sex at all. The outcome is a career woman. This could indicate a career man too. Okay, this just indicates a person who's holding on to their purse strings. And this is a career woman who has put off romance, who needs to start being interested in sex and dating again, okay? Who may want to have sex but not have time to go out because of work, or may not prioritize going out and meeting guys, okay? So, female Geminis, this is you needing to focus less on career, less on money, because this person is holding on to her purse and there's coins falling out, and this guy in the background, I feel like, tried to have sex with her and she didn't want to. In a way, maybe because she was so concerned about money, she didn't let it happen. She didn't want it to happen, okay? And normally, Gemini is up for a good time. So it's kind of out of character for you, Gemini, to be in a relationship or to be in a place in your life where you don't really want to have fun. Maybe some of you, I would say a small percentage, very small, just are very overly focused on their career, or just maybe don't have time or can't really prioritize a relationship. But in a way, it needs to become more of a priority, because you're missing out, and it's not like you to not want to have fun. It's not like you to not want to have a relationship. So you need to kind of get back in your groove. You need to get your mojo back, okay? Your sex mojo. Because it's just, I feel like you'll be happier that way. Okay, I feel like you'll be very unhappy if you're focused so much on money and career, you know. So this is for some of you Gemini ladies, okay? Less the Gemini guys. I feel like this is more so Gemini ladies that need to really get back out there. Gemini guys, to me, are always kind of out there. Gemini guys, I feel like there's more frustration, sexual frustration on your part, especially if you're in a relationship. But not all of you, because some Gemini guys, I feel like, are proposing. They have found the right one, or they're in a marriage and they're very happy, okay? Particularly, though, for those of you who are married, I do feel like for most of you who are married, there's a lot of discontent, and you need to work on that and figure that out. So yeah, that's all that I'm getting for this, and I will be back again with more videos. Stay tuned. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to email me, elizabetholson31@gmail.com, if you would like to have a private reading. I'd love to set one up for you, and I really just wish you guys all the best. So I send you big hugs, big kisses, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, take care.